Next up is Karen Hamilton with Alberta Human Services and Lynn Wade with the Winifred Stewart Association Foundation. Now, both of these ladies are presenting as part of a committee with Disability Employer Connections. Now, Disability Employer Connections is a working group that represents different levels of government and several community service organizations in Edmonton, whose goal is to educate employers and to increase the opportunities for meaningful, inclusive employment of people with disabilities. Now, their purpose in presenting at IDPD this year is to educate us all that one's fears shouldn't stop you from taking action and doing something new, and to remind everyone that we all play a vital role in the world that welcomes employees with disabilities. All right, welcome Karen and Lynn.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today. I have a quick question. Who here has or knows somebody with a disability? Please raise your hand. And of those people, have they been able to find meaningful employment? And that's why we're here today. This is Karen Hamilton, and I'm Lynn Wade, and we are part of the Disability Employers Connection Group. And our goal is to educate employers and to increase the opportunities for people with disabilities to find inclusive employment. As you know, disability can happen at any age. It can be temporary, permanent, mild, or severe. It is our hope that when people say they have a disability and within the next 10 years, it will mean, I just work differently than you. Nothing more, nothing less.
For a variety of reasons, today's workforce, while more diverse than it is 30 years ago, still lacks representation of persons with disability. One of our goals here is to help employers hire on merit and not the disability. Throughout our presentation today, you will meet individuals with disabilities who have achieved workplace success. I'd like to introduce you to Wayne. Wayne is diagnosed with a learning disability and is diagnosed, and works at CF Rotex and has been working there for about 5 years now. He performs a variety of tasks and in fact does everything from forklift operations and hiring of new employees, and is considered the employee's main employee for the warehouse. Our purpose in presenting here at IDPD is to give the opportunity to encourage the audience to be a vital part of the world in welcoming employees with disabilities.
And it is a world that has changed a lot for people with disabilities. There has been improved accessibility, equipment, and social reforms that have done away with things like the ugly law. Yes, there was a law in the United States that prohibited people with unsightly disabilities to appear in public. Thankfully, we have changed our attitude, and more of us have the shared belief that people with disabilities have a valued role in our community. Now, many of you may know this local celebrity, if he comes up here.
There he is.
His name is Joey Moss, and he has Down syndrome. In the early 80s, you would have seen him play road hockey with none other than Wayne Gretzky. And Wayne noticed that Joey was a hard worker and asked him if he would like to work for the Oilers. Of course, Joey said yes, and he started a position in the locker room. Before long, Joey became a locker room attendant for the Edmonton Eskimos. And over his 30-year career, players have come and gone, but they all have been changed and humble thanks to their experience with Joey.
To recruit and retain the best people in our labor market, we need to be more diverse right here within our community. In addition to the business needs, research indicates that the more diverse the team, the more creative and innovative, as well as better to handle work challenges. The time is now to bring diversity into the workforce. So let's try something different today. Even though 1 in 7 Canadians have a disability, there's a lot that is unknown and fear-inducing. 2/3 of us are uncomfortable speaking to a person with disability. We'll appear patronizing, do the wrong thing, be politically incorrect. For a lot of people, avoidance is the first choice. Understand it's not because they are fearful or uncomfortable with a disability, but rather they themselves are uncomfortable and feeling self-conscious.
And we're going to speak about fear. Take the Felix Baumgartner skydive from the stratosphere. When I first heard about it, I thought, man, this guy is fearless. But in fact, he was so scared that he left the project for 6 months. And it wasn't until he saw his replacement do a test jump that he realized what his fear was costing him. For Felix, the fear of losing out was far greater than making that terrific jump. Now, we need to get over our fear in hiring people with a disability and see what we're missing out on.
So is hiring someone with a disability expensive? I mean, even though workplace modifications are easy and inexpensive, many employers worry it'll cost them a lot, and this is seen as a negative thing. So really, I mean, after all, necessity is the mother of invention. And it was Alexander Graham Bell, wife and mother, who were deaf, who profoundly influenced his invention. So the next time you push that cart or stroller into a ramped curb, or you send that phone message, answer the phone, or even send that text message, remember, these were all done and created to accommodate people with disabilities. Now I'd like to tell you about Erica. Erica is diagnosed, I apologize, there's Erica. She was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. And she was challenged even to say a few words in public due to her fear and her past. But nowadays, not only does she deliver with confidence and poise her inspiring story to thousands of people, she can be found in a stand-up comedy at a comedy club near you.
And this is just a glimpse of individuals with disabilities that have achieved personal and professional success. There's many, many more. However, not so long ago, they could have been institutionalized and not employed. This presentation serves as a reminder that we need to see the person first and not the disability. Seeing past labels will help us open up a whole new world of possibilities.
That's right.
Right. And
Excellent.
Individuals with disabilities bring richness to our workplace, and they are the missing piece to our labor market puzzle.
So the question is, what might you in the crowd do to help? Well, open up your mind to hiring persons with disability. Disability Employer Connections will help you connect with employers who hire people with disabilities, as well as other number of local agencies and organizations within your community to help build or create or make that need, that perfect match. If you are not hiring, if you are not in a hiring role, what can you do? Let them know in your workplace that you're interested. You support workforce supports to workforce with persons with disability. It may be a bit risky, but it's going to be worth it and heartfelt. In closing, a quote from Nelson Mandela. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave is not he who does not feel afraid, but the who conquers that fear. I think this applies to all of us today. Lynn and I would like to thank you for our opportunity and presentation. Thank you.
Got my papers all messed up. I can't do anything without a script. A huge thank you to Karen and Lynn for their presentation today.